But this is literally my third time taking this, or like trying to record this, because I don't know. Yeah, I just wanted to go through, basically, I got my vlog that I do every day right now, and I mean, there's context to it. Obviously, it's my preparation for going to the Marine Corps, but there's no like story behind it. There's nothing like, oh, this is why I decided to go with the Marines and stuff like that. So I wanted to put that out there. I guess for me, in the future, so I can look back on this, and also for anybody that's watching, anybody that's going into the Marines now or in the future or around the same time I am, maybe we can like link up and talk about everything. But I mean, yeah, I just want to put this out here as to why I am joining the Marines. Let's, I guess, go all the way back to the beginning. Like right out of high school, I graduated 2015, which it was over 3 years ago. And right out of high school, I had a relationship down in Florida, and I was going to start college, so I moved down there to maintain that relationship. I started a job, I moved in with my dad, and yeah, the person I was down there, not the person I would have liked to have been. I was not mentally healthy. I made a lot of toxic choices, and yeah, I just wasn't where I wanted to be as a person. So eventually the relationship I had ended, and I dropped out of college, and I wanted to get myself together. I wanted to better myself, so I left Florida. I moved up to Wisconsin with my mom, and shortly after that, I moved out and got a job at Culver's, and was living in town with a couple of my friends from high school. And after Culver's, I got a job at Cabela's in the distribution center. I was doing factory work there. And then after that, I got a job up in La Crosse, which is like an hour 20 from here, and did factory work out there. And yeah, I was bettering myself physically, mentally. I was financially stable. I had a nice apartment out there. I have a nice car now as well. And like every part of my life, there's a cat in here. God damn it, there's a lot of hair. But anyway, so a lot of my life was pretty squared away, but the one thing that was still like suffering was my job, because factory work in itself is not fulfilling for me. I mean, there's people who make a living out of it. I mean, props to those people who raise a family off of it and generally enjoy that kind of job, but it's not something that I enjoyed. So I mean, what was I gonna do? Like, work that job for another 40 years, retire, and then do something I wanted to do, or go back to college, invest money into that, and then balance that, my photography and videography job on the side, and do my job at the same time? Because I mean, I still had financial like responsibilities. I had to pay bills. I have like rent due, my car, insurance, and all that stuff. I mean, I had like bills I had to pay. I mean, I wasn't living with my parents. Like, everything financially was on me. So it would just be a lot to juggle, and I don't even know what I'd do if I wanted to go back to college. So I mean, a couple of years ago, before I graduated, I was always thinking about going into the military. I wanted to fly airplanes. I had a long line of like family in the military, so that was really my like my motivation to go. I had my dad in the military for 20 years. My grandfather was military, served in Vietnam 20 years as well. My cousin Phil, he's a Marine, and he served alongside my grandfather in Vietnam. So a lot of military members of my family. So that was always like my big push. I mean, my dad always had the college agenda, you know, go to college first type of thing. But I mean, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. And like the interest I had, the type of work you'd have to do, and the time that you have to put into it, it's, I don't even know how to explain it. I guess the best way is I do video and camera work on the side right now, and like I've gotten some really good jobs doing that. Like, I went down to Costa Rica and shot a film down there, and I've worked around town here around some of the businesses to develop logos and as well as commercials for them. But that type of work is very really isn't that consistent, I guess I would say. So yeah, it takes a lot of time to get that consistency that I could stop working a full-time job and do my own type of business, which I mean would just be insane because the time I spent down in Costa Rica, filming and doing all that stuff and the work I've done since I've gotten back from them, I mean, just being in that creative space and everything is really motivating, and it's something I really want to do eventually. But working that unfulfilling job alongside of this camera work and all that just wasn't going to work out. And so yeah, I couldn't do it for another 20 years of my life. I can't do that. So I thought about it for a couple months, and I eventually went down to the recruiting station and was able to talk to somebody. And I went in there with the intentions of talking to the Army because they had medical, and that was one of the things, you know, if you do it for 20 years, you can get out and have a career at that as well. So I was just thinking of the future when I thought about that. So go to the recruiting office, and of course, the first person I see is a Marine, and I'm like, hey, I want to talk to recruiters, see what my options are, see like what I can do, and that sort of stuff. And they're like, walk me straight to the Marines office. So I talked with them first, and they got my interest in the Marines right off the bat. And I talked to the Army as well because that's what I came there for. And so I was just talking to both of them at the same time. And no offense to the Army at all, it's just a recruiter I talked to. It really felt like they were just like trying to push me through, you know. I was just another guy, and the sooner they could push me through, the better. So I really didn't feel that comfortable or anything like that with the Army. So I decided to go with the Marines. Whenever I talked with them, I mean, the professional level that they had was insane. The type of care and honesty they presented was on another level. And the way they presented the Marines to me was just insane. They took me through everything I did since graduation and what led me to where I'm at now, and the steps and the things that the Marines could provide for me that would better myself and also provide me with like traits, like leadership traits and things I would be able to take from the military into the real world. And I know the type of stigma recruiters get, and I mean, there's always a few bad apples, but you can't like gather everyone up and say this is that group. But the Marines, the recruiters I talk with, are the most honest people I have spoken with, and they're honestly there to help you grow and find the best solution and best position for you. And it felt completely comfortable, and I mean, yeah, they're just really cool people. So now I'm in the delayed entry program, and I am preparing to go to basic August 13th. And like the vlogs I've done have shown my preparation as far as workouts and stuff like that, what I'm doing. And there's also things that you have to memorize before you go to basic, like your general orders, your leadership traits, and your ranking system, as well as like your command chain as well, all the way up to like Donald Trump. So I'm trying to remember all of that stuff, and I still got time. But biggest thing is, if anybody is going in at around the same time, or anybody in the future, is I definitely recommend to remember as much as possible, because once you get to basic, there's gonna be a lot more stuff you have to remember on top of that. And with the stress and the environment that you're in, it's not gonna be easy to remember everything. So get down as much as possible in the time being, when you're comfortable, when you have your family around, without that whole like stressful environment, and you'll definitely do a lot better in basic. And I mean, I haven't been too basic, but I mean, it's pretty obvious. If you can master down a lot of the stuff before you go, if you're physically fit and you are able to pass all the PT standards, it's going to make your time in basic way easier than someone who goes in without the type of preparation. So I'm just vlogging every day to show my preparation in that, and I want to go through some of the things I do to remember, like the leadership traits and general orders and all that, in another video. But basically, I wanted to just like give a little context, give a little bit more of my story that you know, most people wouldn't know, and what led me to where I'm at now. So yeah, I'm pretty excited, a little bit nervous, because I'm pretty confident in myself. And the whole thing with basic is to break you down and build you up into something better, and that's the challenge. And there's gonna be a lot of things I'm gonna have to break through, a lot of mental barriers I'm gonna have to get through, and it's just going to shape me into a way better person than I am now, and that's what excites me. So for anybody watching the vlogs, anybody that might be going around at the same time, definitely reach out to me. But yeah, we're going to be going camping tomorrow, and for the next week I won't be able to upload, but I'm going to get a lot of video, a lot of content, so whenever I get back I can post like a really good vlog. But yeah, so keep updated with it, and if anything, this is just going to be something for me to look back on, see where it was. But yeah, see you guys. I think I did justice as to why I actually went at the Marine Corps, because I talked about going to the Army and why I was going to choose that because of the medical field and having a career after the military. But I went with the Marines because of the personal challenge that it's going to present to me, and actually achieving the title of a Marine is going to be what fulfills me for the next 4 years, and it's going to give me the support and the skills, and also personal gain as far as who it's going to shape me into as a person. And that is honestly why I chose Marines. The most professional, most honest people, and most badass people I've ever met. So becoming a part of that, that is what's going to push me, and that's what's going to fulfill me, and that's why I chose the Marine Corps. But I just want to clarify that because I don't think I did a good enough job in the video. But yeah, thanks all for watching.